Good evening, everyone. Myself, Kunchi Lakshmi Prasanna, working as Assistant Professor in Department of Soil Science and Agricultural Chemistry, School of Agriculture, SR University, Warangal, Telangana. As part of our Soil Science course, Fundamentals of Soil Science, today I'm going to teach about the one of the topics, soil orders. So the soil orders comes under the unit soil taxonomy. So before going into the review of this PPT, I want to give a brief introduction about the soil orders. So soil order is nothing but so it comes into the soil taxonomy. Soil taxonomy is a soil classification system which is developed by the United States Department of Agriculture Soil Survey Staff. This system is based on the measurable and observable soil properties and was designed in order to facilitate the detailed soil survey. Although it is not only the system of classifying the soils, but also soil taxonomy is widely used worldwide and in many of its features have been adopted into the other systems as well. At the highest level of soil classification, so soil taxonomy places soils into 12 categories which are known as the soil orders. Each of these categories represent the grouping of soils with distinctive characteristics and ecological significance. To identify, understand, and manage the soils, soil scientists have developed the soil classification or taxonomic system. Likewise, the classification of plants and animals, the soils are also classified, which contains several levels of details from the most general to the specific one. Each order is based on one or two dominant physical, chemical, and biological properties that differentiate it from the other orders. So let's go into the review of the soil orders. Soil orders represents the broadest level of the classification. It's the broadest level of classification in the soil taxonomy system, which is developed by the United States Department of Agriculture. This system helps in the grouping of soils. This system leads to the grouping of soils based on their dominant physical, chemical, and biological properties, as well as their formation process and environmental conditions. There are 12 types of soil orders which are globally recognized, each reflecting the unique soil forming factors such as climate, vegetation, parent material, time, and topography. So the soil orders have been classified by the United States Department of Agriculture. The soils are classified having the dominant physical, chemical, biological properties, as well as the forming processes and the environmental conditions. So there are 12 types of soil orders, which is based on the several factors like climate, vegetation, parent material, time, and the topography. So these are the 12 types of soil orders, which are named as the alphisols, andisols, eridisols, entisols, mollisols, insectisols, histosols, gellisols, oxysols, spodosols, altisols, and multisols. So these are the 12 types of soil orders which are classified by the USDA type of soil classification. Now coming to the nomenclature of the soil taxonomy. So there are 6 hierarchical categories of soil classification, which includes order, suborder, grade group, subgroup, family, and series. Among these, the order is the highest category. Next is the suborder having 68 suborders. Grade group consists of 448 grade groups. Next is the subgroup, family, and series. Series is the most specific category. The lower categories fit with the higher categories. Each orders have several suborders. Each suborder have the several grade groups and the subgroups. So likewise the plant classification and animal classification, soils are also classified. Like alphisols is one of the soil order. So it comes under the suborder Rudolphs. In the grade group, Haplodolphs. Subgroup, Oxotic Hortodolphs. Family, fine roomy mixed. Series, Miami. Space Miami Siltilu. So it is a type of the soil classification under the soil order. So this is one of the soil order, that is the mollisols. So mollisols is a type of the soil order which comes under the suborder aquals under the grade group, that is agriaquals under the subgroup typic agriaquals. Soil orders. So each of the world soil is assigned to the 12 soil orders, which are largely based on the basis of the soil properties that reflect a major force of the development, having a considerable emphasis which are placed on the presence or absence of the diagnostic horizons. Each order provides insights into the soil potential use, limitations, management. For example, the vertisoils, which are the major type of soil order which is present in major parts of the India, which are more productive, but it requires the proper water management practices or water management methods, as it has the very poor conditions of the drainage because of the swelling and shrinkage of the clay, because of the swelling and shrinkage of the clay property which is seen in the vertisoils. Understanding the soil orders is very much essential, as it is useful for the soil mapping, land capability classification, agriculture planning and crop selection, soil conservation and sustainable land use, environmental monitoring and restoration. Here are the 12 types of soil orders having the formative element and major characteristics, and it is derived from the specific words. Alphisols. So the formative element is alph, and it has a major characteristics of argillic and the base saturation. Andisols have the formatting element and AND, and it comes from the Japanese word, that is the black soil. It is these soil orders is the major characteristics of the soil order is it is erected from the volcanic ejecta, and allophone is the dominant mineral which is present in this andesol soil order. Next is the aridisols. The formative element is ID. It is a ochric epipedum. The major characteristics is the ochric epipedum and also the natric epipedum, and it consists of the dry soil. Next is the endisols. The formative element is EMD. These are nothing but the recently developed soil order. Recently developed horizons are present in the soil order. Little profile development and the ochric epipedon is the most commonly and characteristics of this soil order. Next is the histosols, and the formative element is IST. Histose means the tissue. So the major characteristics of this histosols is this soil order is mainly present in the peat or the muck soils having greater than 20% of the organic matter. Next is the inceptisols. The formative element is EPT. Inception means the beginning or the beginning. These are the major characteristics of the soil order is the embryonic soils having the few diagnostic horizons, having the ochric and the umbric epipedon. Next is the mollisols. Mollisols have the formating element OLL. It has a mollic epipedon having high base saturation. These are having a dark colored soils. These are having a dark colored soils and the high base saturation having the natric horizons. Next is the spodosols. Spodosols is derived from the spodos, that is the wood ash. These spodic soils have the spodic horizon containing iron, aluminum, and oxides and human accumulation present in them. In order to remember the soil orders, one keyword has been developed, that is the Awagami house. So this Awagami house consists of the 12 letters in order to identify the 12 types of soil orders, which are termed as the entisols. So entisols is nothing but the recently developed soils. Next is the histosols. Histosols are nothing but the organic matter, the soil order containing more amount of organic matter present in them. Next is the jelly soils. Jelly soils are those soils having the permafrost border present in them. Next is the inceptisols. Inceptisols are the beginning of soils. Next is the andisols. Andisols comes from the soil order from the volcanic ejection. Next is the vertisols. Vertisols is the swelling and shrinkage of clays. Alphisols. Alphisols are the dry soils having the mild acidic clays. Aridisols are the dry soils having the dry soils present in them. Alphisols have the mid-acid clays present in them. Mollisols are the soft and dark colored soils having high base saturation. Altisols are the strongly acid clays. Spodosols have the spodic horizon present in them. Oxysols are having the oxic epipedon, having the oxides of iron and aluminium present in them. So in the next upcoming slides, we are going to see each soil order in detail and its formation and characteristics and distribution. First is the alphisols. So alphisols it is a type of the soil order which is present in the semi-arid to the moist areas. These soils are mostly found in the forest or the mixed vegetative cover and are productive for most of the crops. These soils are widely distributed in India. The soils are mostly developed on the stable landscape, which are formed in the soils of the humid and subhumid climates. These are the base-rich soils having the base saturation greater than 35% with the clay, which are enriching this argillic horizon. Argillic means clay. Evidence of clay elevation. Clay elevation. Immigration of the clay particles happening. That is why it is the evidence of the clay elevation takes place in the alphisols. Strongly withered. These soil orders are more strongly withered than inceptisols, but less than the altisols. Here, the main characteristic feature of the alphisols is the base-rich soils having the greater than 35% base saturation, having the argillic horizon. So this point is very important as per the ICAR point of view. Next is the vertisols. Vertisols comes from the word vert mean invert. So vertisols comes from the soil order, that is this is the soil order where it is grouping under the black cotton soils, or it is also known as the rigor soils or the nulla rigidi in the local language. So these vertisols is derived from the soil morphology. These soils are mostly occur in the peninsular India. These are 50 centimeters thick, black and dark colored in nature. These soils have the characteristics of swell and shrinkage property. So these soils swell when it is most moist condition, shrink when it is in the drying condition, that is during the summer season. And due to this swelling and shrinkage, it causes the deep wide cracks. It is also composing of the Gilgai macro relief or intersecting slick and slides. High clay content greater than 30% of the clay. The clay mineral which is present in these vertisols is the smectite, vermiculite, and montmorillonite. These type of soils are very black in nature due to the presence of the mineral titaniferous magnetite and humus. These soils are known as the black cotton soils, as cotton is a major crop grown in this. That is why this vertisols is also known as the black cotton soils. Here there is formation of wide cracks which are found during the dry season on the surface layer. Surface debris which can slough off into these cracks and move into the soil. When the rain comes, water can move easily into these particular soil layers, and it seals the pores, thereby causing the drainage and thereby causing the pore drainage in the drainage problem. Pore drainage leads to pore aeration, thereby the seedlings are mostly affected in this particular type of the soil order. Here you can see the formation of deep wide cracks. During the dry season, there is formation of deep wide cracks. And during the moist season, the rainy season, the soil seems to swell in nature. The swelling nature is due to the presence of the more amount of clay. The clay have the more amount of the clay particles having more amount of micropores present in it. The water gets entered inside, and there is soils will seems to swell in the rainy season, but in the summer season there is a soil seems to be drying conditions. That is why there is formation of deep cracks present in the vertisols, and there is formation of Gilgai macro relief, and these are the slick and slides. Gilgai macro relief and the slick and slides are also the characteristics formed in these vertisols. And this is the unique character, that is the swelling and shrinkage. Slick and slides and Gilgai macro relief is the unique properties which are seen only in the vertisols soil order, having the granular structure present in them. So characteristics of Gilgai macro relief. Gilgai macro relief is nothing but the unevenness of the ground surface. This Gilgai macro relief is the unevenness of the ground surface, which is mostly seen in the black cotton soils. This Gilgai macro relief is characterized by the pattern of presence of mounds, depressions, and shelves. This is nothing but the uneven surface, that is presence of the mounds and depressions. Formation of these mounds and wounds. Formation of the mounds and wounds takes place. That is the unevenness of the ground surface occurs, which is mostly seen in the vertisol soil order. Mounds are nothing but the slightly raised areas, typically which are present few meters in diameter, whereas the depressions are nothing but the small sunken areas or the hollows present between the mounds. Small sunken areas which is present between the wounds is known as the depressions. Shells are nothing but sometimes these are the small areas of the ground level present between the mounds and the depressions. These create the undulate, these mounds and depressions create the undulating and uneven surface. These are known as the Gilgai macro relief, which is mostly seen or it is only seen in the vertisol soil order. So Gilgai macro relief is nothing but the unevenness on the ground surface or undulating area or unevenness of the ground surface. This undulating and unevenness of the ground surface is mostly formed by the bones and the depressions and shells which are formed on the layers of the vertisol soil order. Mounds are nothing but the slightly raised areas which are typically a few meters in diameter, whereas the depressions are the small and sunken areas which are present in between the mounds, whereas the shelves are nothing but the small areas which are present between the mounds and the depressions. Slick and slides. Slick and slides is a distinctive feature which is mostly seen in the black soils, particularly the vertisols. It is nothing but they are smooth and polished surface which are developed on the faces of the soil aggregates, that is the clods or the beds. So these are the smooth and polished surface. So these are the smooth and the polished surface which are present on the surface of the beds or the aggregates. Those are nothing but the slick and slides which are mostly seen in the vertisol soil order. So how the slick and slides are formed? So the slick and slides are formed which is closely related to the swelling and shrinkage behavior of the clay mineral which is present in the vertisol soil order. Presence of high amount of clay. This presence of high amount of clay content is mainly characterized by the high amount of smectitic type of clay mineral. So this, due to the presence of this smectitic type of clay mineral, expanding the mineral get expanded, thereby wetting and contraction takes place. That is swelling and shrinkage takes place due to the expansion of the clay mineral. That is the smectitic type of clay mineral. Swelling and shrinkage action occurs because of these minerals, that is the smectite and the montmorillonite present in that particular soil. Shearing and polishing. The repeated swelling and shrinkage creates pressure within the soil, causing the soil aggregates to slide past each other. Due to the repeated swelling and shrinkage property, some pressure is created within the soil, causing the soil aggregates to slide each other. This rapid rubbing and polishing of the soil surfaces causing the slick and slides. So slick and slides is nothing but it is a type of the feature which is present in the black soils of the soil order, that is vertisols. So this is the smooth and polished surface which are developed on the faces of the aggregates or beds. So these slick and slides are mainly found by the swelling and shrinkage of the clay mineral, which are known as the smectite, vermiculite, and montmorillonite type of clay mineral. Due to as these minerals are the expanding type of minerals, more amount of swelling and shrinkage properties exhibited by this type in this type of soil. When the more amount of due to the repeated swelling and shrinkage of clay creates pressure within the soil. When the pressure is created, the soil particles or the soil aggregates tend to slide past over each other or tend to slide over each other. This movement results in the rubbing and polishing of the aggregate surface, thereby causing the slick and slides. So here you can see the diagram, which is where there is a repeated, when the pressure is created between the swelling and shrinkage of clay, the soil aggregate seems to be slide past over each other, causing the shining over each other. Which represents in form of polishing, that is known as the slick and slides. So when we see the characteristics of slick and slides, these are the smooth polished surfaces. Smooth polished surfaces which are present in the vertisol soil order. Striations. So it is these often exhibit the striations or grooves indicating the direction of the soil movement. Slick and slides are typically found in the subsoil where there is swelling and shrinkage activity. Where the swelling and shrinkage activity takes place, there we can see the formation of slick and slides. So slick and slides is nothing but the smooth and the polished surfaces. The smooth and polished surfaces are formed as there is when the pressure is created between the two soil aggregates, they slide over each other, causing the smooth and polished surfaces, which tends to shine, which are known as the slick and slides. So it also creates the striations or the grooves, indicating the movement of the direction of the soil movement and the location. Slick and slides are located in the areas where the activity of swell and shrinkage of activity takes place. Next order is the jelly salts. So jelly salts comes from the word gilere. Gilere means to freeze. Gilere means to freeze. So it has a distinctive feature of the presence of the permafrost layer. Permafrost layer is the distinctive feature of the jelly salts. So this soil order is not reported in India, but it is present in the areas where the snow-covered Himalayas. So these jelly salts are present in the areas of the snow-covered Himalayas. It occurs in the cold regions of Antarctica, Arctica, and the high mountain regions. Cryoturbation is the important process which takes place in these jelly salts. Soil solution movement is restricted due to freezing temperature. Movement of soil is restricted due to the freezing temperature. Cryo means freezing, low temperatures. Turbation means mixing. So mixing of soils takes place at a very low temperature, that is known as the cryoturbation. Here the important point in the jelly salts is jelly means to freeze. Here the unique feature is the formation of the permafrost layer. So as the permafrost layer, these soils are not reported in India, but it is covered in the snow-covered Himalayas. Cryoturbation is the important feature present in this type of soil order. The soil movement is restricted due to the freezing of temperatures. Next is the andisols. Andisols comes from the Japanese word, that is the black soil in the Japanese word. These soils are developed from the volcanic ash material. Andisols is a type of soil order which is developed from the volcanic ash. These are the dark colored soils with low bulk density. These type of soils have the allophone types of the mineral and fluffiness in nature, having the endic soil properties. These soils are easy to cultivate and they are not reported in India. So here the important point is the in andisols is the so these soils are developed from the volcanic ash and it has high amount of allophone mineral which is fluffy in nature, having the anti-soil properties. This soil order is not reported in India. Next soil order is the mollisols. The word mollis means soft in nature. These are the dark colored soils and the base rich soils having the base saturation greater than 50%. These are the soft and well structured and organic matter rich epipedon, that is a molic epipedon is present in this type of the soil order. This soil order generally seen in the subhumid to the humid climate and the grassland areas or the forest vegetation. In India, it occurs in the Terai region of the Uttarakhand and in some other states. Here, the main characteristics of these mollisols is the base-rich soils having the greater than 50% base saturation. They are soft and well-structured soils having the organic matter-rich epipedon, that is the molic epipedon. These are generally seen in the subhumid and the humid climate, where the grassland and the forest vegetation is the dominant one. In India, this type of soil orders occur in the Terai regions of the Uttarakhand. Aridus means to dry. This type of soil order generally occurs in the arid climate, that is the arid and semi-arid regions. Here you can see the picture depicting the aridisols. These soils are dry for most part of the year, as the water is very scanty present over here. As the water is very scanty and the evaporation transpiration is higher, there is more amount of salt accumulation present in the surface and subsurface, which is forming the salic and the gypsic horizon. Salic means formation of more amounts of salt. That is why it is known as salic horizon. Gypsic is nothing but the salts containing the gypsum. Gypsum salts is present on the surface layer, thereby causing the gypsic horizon. It is found in the western and northwestern part of India. Histosols, spodos mean wood ash. Histosols are nothing but the soil orders having the organic. These are the organic matter rich. So organic matter rich soils having the organic matter greater than 20% of the organic matter. These soils is characterized with peat and muck. These are also known as, these are available at peat and muck soils having the peaty horizon under the permanent water saturated environment, forming the histic epipedon. Generally, these soil orders occur at a region where there is a more amount of organic matter and also in the peat and the muck soils. So these peat and muck soils are present in areas where the water is saturated over a long period of time, forming the histic epipedon. Organic matter is more accumulated. It is more than organic matter accumulation is more when compared to the decomposition. This histosols is present in the areas of the cold and humid climate having the siliceous parent material. This soil order is not reported in India. Inceptisols, inceptum means beginning. So these are the type of soil orders as the early stage of the development. Soils of early stage of development. These they do not have the argillic horizon. Alteration of the parent material to develop the soil structure, texture, variation, and color. It may also have one or more diagnostic horizons like cambic, umbric, and molic. So it has a diagnostic horizons like cambic, umbric, and molic epipedons. It does not have the argillic horizon. It is found throughout the India. Here the important point is that inceptisol, inceptum means the beginning. So as the soils are the more beginning or the young soils, we can say, as the soils are very young, there is a less stage of the soil development. Soils are the early stage of the development. It takes more. So as the time is very less, the soil has been developed in a very less stage. Alteration of parent material is occurs due to the variation of the texture and color. So these soils are present throughout the India. Altisols, ultimum means last. So these are the base core soils of the humid tropical climate having the high rainfall and the high temperature. Argillic and candic horizons which are formed in this type of soil order. it has the low base saturation, that is less than 35% of the base saturation. So these soil orders have the base saturation less than 35 base saturation because due to the high rainfall and the high temperature, when there is high rainfall, um, all the cations which are present over there, all the cations gets leached down. All the cations gets leached down by leaving the anions like H plus, aluminum, iron, and manganese ions, which are insoluble in water. As these anions become more and more, thereby these soils are more and more acidic, having the low base saturation. These are the advanced stage of withering. These occur in southern parts of India and northeastern regions. Altisols, here the important point is the altisols are the last developed soils. These are the advanced stage of withering soils. It has the low base saturation, that is less than 35% of the base saturation. As these soils occur at a high rainfall and high temperatures, there is a very low base saturation, that is less than 35% base saturation. Oxysols comes from the oxides. So these are the deeply withered soils of the humid tropics. It has the brick red color. These soils are dominated by the kaolinite and sesquioxides. Kaolinite and the sesquioxides are the type of the clay minerals having the oxic horizon present in them, oxic epipedon present in them. Uniform profile development with low amount of witherable minerals. It is indurated with a mottled horizon, that is the plinthites. Plinthites are the brick containing process. So these plinthites are the brick containing process which are mostly seen in this oxisol soil order. Presently, this soil order is not reported in India. And in the oxisols, the main important point is these are dominant by the kaolinite and sesquioxides. This soil order have the development of this mottled horizon, that is the plinthites may be present. These soils are mostly developed in the humid tropics with brick red color in nature. So here you can see the formation of the brick red color, that is the oxisols. Next is the spodosols. Spodosols means to wood ash appearance. So these soil orders are generally present in the cold and humid climate with the siliceous parent material. Siliceous means acidic parent material, and alluvial horizons of sesquioxides, humus are formed under the wood ash having the E horizon present in them. Composed of silica, it is mainly composed of the parent material, that is the silica, having the spodic horizon present in them. These soil orders are not generally reported in India. Here the important point is that spodosols have the siliceous parent material and also have the spodic horizon with elevation horizon having the sesquioxides and humus. Endisols are the newly developed soils with no diagnostic horizons, low degree of soil development due to the less time. It occurs in almost all states of India. Low degree of soil development, and it occurs in almost in all states of India. Here the important point in endisols is these are the recently developed soils, and due to less time the soil development is very less. Suborders, soils with each order are grouped into suborders on the basis of the soil properties which reflect major environmental control and also the soil forming process. Many suborders indicate the soil moisture regimes, more or less frequently the temperature regimes under which the soils are formed. The suborders are the indicative of the moisture regimes or the temperature regimes from which soils are formed. Inceptisols is the type of the soil order. Grade groups. The grade groups are the subdivisions of the suborders. More than 400 grade groups are categorized or recognized. They are defined largely by the presence or absence of the diagnostic horizons and by the arrangement of these horizons. Subgroup are the divisions of the grade groups. Subgroups are the divisions of the grade groups. It has more than 2,600 grade groups are recognized. The central concept of the grade group makes up one subgroup which is termed as typic. So in the subgroup, the main term which is determined is a typic. Thus, the typic haplopods are the subgroup which defines the haplopods of the grade group. So here you can see Mollisols is a type of the soil order which comes under suborder Aquols in the grade group, Agriaquols in the subgroup that is the typic. So typic is the term which is the coin which comes under the subgroup that is the typic. Typic Agriaquols families within the subgroup soil falls into a particular families at specified depth. They have similar physical chemical properties affecting the growth of the plant roots. About 8,000 families have been identified. The criteria to determine the broad class of the particle size, mineralogy, cation exchange capacity of the clay, temperature, and the depth of the soil penetrates by the roots. So here you can see the soil temperature regimes like hypergelic, pergelic, subgelic, cryic, frigid, mesic, thermic, and hyperthermic. These are the types of the soil moisture regimes. Next is the series. The series category is the most specific unit of the soil classification system. It is a subdivisions of the family and each series is defined by the specific range of the soil properties. So here you can see the different types of soil orders like jelly salts, histosols, spodosols, andisols, oxysols, vertisols, eridisols, artisols, mollisols, alphisols, inseptisols, entisols. So this comes under the suborder that is albols, aquagols, rendols, zerols, ustols, cryols. Comes under the grade group triaquols, duraquols, natroaquols, calciaquols, agriaquols, epiaquols, endoaquols, which comes under the other group that is prosodic agriaquols, vertic agriaquols, abruptic agriaquols, typic agriaquols. So these are the different categories in the soil taxonomy, that is order, suborder, grade group, subgroup, series. Grade group, family, and series. So let's see the overview of all the 12 types of soil order in short. So entisols are the recently developed soils. When these entisols, these entisols, due to the deep accumulation of the organic matter, entisols is the recently developed soils. When there is formation of the, when these soils are formed, when the jelly soils, which is characterized by the permafrost condition, these soils generally form in a very cold condition, having the feature that is the permafrost condition, which leads to the formation of the jelly soils. Next is the aridisols. Aridisols are the dry soils which are present in the deserts or the shrubs and grasses on the grasses are dry conditions. These aridisols are formed. Next is the alphisols. Alphisols are the soil orders which are formed in the mild acid clays. These are moist, mild acid clay accumulation or mainly formed in this alphisols order. Next is the altisols. Altisols are the strongly acid clays which are usually wet and warm forest. Acid silicate and oxides of iron and aluminum are mostly gives rise to these altisols. Next is the oxysols. Oxysols are mainly formed by the wetted tropical forest extreme withering. Extreme withering leads to the formation of the oxysols where there is low activity of clays. Low activity of clays, oxides of iron and aluminum leads to the formation of these oxides or the oxysols. Next is the spodosols. Spodosols comes from the word that is the spodic horizon. These podosols are formed in the cold, wet, and sandy areas with the acidic and coniferous forest vegetation. Next is the mollisols. Mollisols are nothing but the soft and dark colored soils having the high base saturation, having the mollic epipedon. These are present in the semi-arid to the moist areas of the grasslands, having the mollic epipedon present in them. Next is the vertisols. Vertisols are the soils having the swelling and shrinkage property. These are the high base status soils or the high base saturation having greater than 30% of the clay and also the plasticity property. These are the soils having the high amount of clay and the swelling and shrinkage properties mostly seen over here. Next is the insectisols. Insectisols are nothing but the beginning soils. These soils undergo mild withering with various mild withering takes place under the various conditions. Next is the andisols. Andisols are mainly formed from the volcanic eruptions. Mild withering on volcanic ejecta leads to the formation of the andisols. Next is the histosols. Histosols are formed having the areas where there is waterlogged conditions over a long period of time and also the formation of the peat and the mud soils. Deep accumulation of the organic materials in the wet conditions leads to the formation of the histosols or the organic soils. So this is a brief. This is the summary of the different types of soil orders which have discussed in this PPT. I hope you have understood this type, this soil order. I hope this video is useful for the students. If you like this video, please do like, share, subscribe to my channel. Thank you.